Yes, we are. We're live.
Live?
He's done it now.
Are we live?
Yes,
We're live. Oh, good evening, everybody. Evening reefers that have tuned in to watch us.
Good evening.
And first of all, Happy New Year, guys.
Yep,
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. And Steve's celebrating the New Year by being at the bottom of the Red Sea by the looks of it.
I am, mate. Thought I'd change my ways a little bit.
You're getting really good with that tech, I tell you. You have to be careful.
Well, it took me 4 years, so I'd have to start to improve a little bit, mate. But yeah,
Absolutely.
Well, mate, nice to see you. Yeah, that's the main thing. Do I sound okay? That's the main thing. Can you hear me? I'm not echoing.
We can hear you.
I'm not echoing like I am down at the bottom of the sea, am I? So that's a good thing. You know what I mean?
New Year, New Year's resolution, new Steve, the mic's working. Absolutely.
I get much better than that.
I know. Happy New Year to everybody who's in the chat as well. We wish all your families a great New Year. I reckon it's going to be a good New Year for reefing. I've got a good feeling about this one. You know, I think it's going to be the year for reefing is 2023. Lots of exciting things to come. I'm sure Paul's got some announcements as well at some point of up and coming events. I just put him on the spot.
You can put me on the spot, but nothing's planned at the moment.
Oh, God's sake! Right, how do I do the register? Because I'm a teacher, by the way. So do I just click on them and click show? Is that how it works?
Yeah, go have a go.
There we go. By the way, guys, you probably know, well, I don't know if you do know, but this is like a tradition that I do the first one of the year. I don't know how that started really. I do the first one of the year, and then that's the only one I ever do because. Bit of a pain. I was going to say something else.
I think it was a thing called peer pressure that started that.
Absolutely, it was, yeah.
That is right. And also, not only is it the first one of the year, but it's the first one for ages. We've got all four of us on. So, yeah.
True.
So good. Welcome back, Ross.
It is good.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Absolutely.
Yeah, it is good for you back. So hold tight, guys. They're in the stream watching because it's going to be an interesting one with all four of us on. Anyway, Techers Reef. Evening, mates. Good to see you. Who else is in the chat today? Russell, yo. He's well up for the new year. Who else we got? Haley. Good to see you, Haley. Hope you're having a great new year so far. Haley Barr, Evening Reefers. There's been a bit of anticipation for this one because we've had a bit of a holiday, 2 or 3 weeks. I've had a couple of messages about, is it going to be on? John, good to see you, mate. Happy New Year to you as well. Who else is here? John's here again. Oh, he's talking to Haley. All right, okay. That's how it works, is it? Cottage Reef, good to see you, mate. Evening. Great to see you in the chat tonight. MK Reefer, always good to see you, mate. So a lot of regulars have come back for 2023, which is great to see. Evening, mate. UKM 120 from the start. He's always been in the chat as well. Who's this guy? Hey, Ross. So good to see you, mate. Glad to see you back in the stream. You're going to be a regular feature now, then? Are you going to be?
Yep, that's me back, ready to go again. So regular feature now. That'll be back. I'm not going to say fully committed on the wagon to weekly videos, but I'll try and do as many as I can.
I love that. You know why? Because people go on my videos and ask where you are all the time, and it does my head. They don't say anything about my video. They go, "Oh, where's Ross, by the way?" And I'm like, "Oh, right." I don't know.
It's a good job. It's a good job you don't mind, isn't it, Joe?
It's
a good job. As long as you just answer them and don't put it in our chat moaning about it, then it's fine.
Yeah,
my next video. I know. Yeah, my next video. Now I've said that, everybody's going to go, "Where's Ross? Where's Ross? Where's Ross?"
Yeah. So everybody, just remember that Jay's next video. Just comment, "Where's Ross?"
Yeah, where is Ross? Who else is in the chat? Stefan Bates, nice to see you. Evening, guys and girls. Good to see you, mate. John's what's he put here? Great to see you, Ross.
Cheers, guys.
Looking good. The beard's on point, mate, as well.
Just a wee trim. I gave it a New Year trim, mate, so it's back to its former glory again.
I don't know how you haven't got any white in there yet, but anyway.
There is some white in there, look.
It's time for that. It's time for that.
Oh, yeah.
This hobby, mate. I mean, look at Steve. He started doing the calc. He's gone white now. Look,
he's 21.
He's 21. That's free kids for you, mate. Free kids that drive you insane. That's what that is.
I think he's been sniffing the calc. That's what it is.
It's calc in his beard. He had that mask on, didn't he, in his video? I remember that one. Evening, Skids. Happy New Year to you as well. Good to see you. Black Pearl Reef. Oh dear, I could be in for some.
Oh no, you're in for it tonight, Jay.
I'm in for it. He hasn't been around for a few weeks. Yeah. Anyway,
I don't think he would miss this one for the world, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. Cheers, mate. Thanks for that. I could do without any grief. I just asked my comments up. Evening, everybody. Stephen, Stuart Pennell. Evening, mates. Good to see you. People waiting to see Jave. Oh, yeah. Well, I'll talk about that actually. The X8 show kit. I'll talk a little bit about that later in the stream, mate. It's a good little prompt. So thanks for asking. I'll come back to that one actually in a little bit. Who else is in? Chris Allen. Evening, mate. He's always in as well. Happy Fridays. There's loads of people. The Zoo. Now, yeah, he's not on the road today. He messaged me and said this is one of the first streams he's watching at home. So a real nice. Treat. Real treat.
Absolutely.
See what happens, Jay. You host and people tune in. That's what the effect you have on them all.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just everybody's looking forward to it because we've all been working all week, grafting and hard work, and this is the highlight of the week, isn't it?
Have you, Jay?
How was your working week, Jay?
I've done a solid Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I'm absolutely worn out. Anyway, Zoo putting a shop. He's putting a shopping away. Oh, I'm putting a shop. I remember that live stream. Yeah, that was a genuine excuse, by the way. I was putting the shopping away. Didn't want to upset the wife. Reefport, hello, mates. Good to see you. Julian's in there as well. Evening. Happy New Year as well. Loads of Happy New Year messages. Dan's Reef is in. I don't know. I can't see how many people are watching, but it seems to be a lot. Evening all. Stu's in. How many?
52.
Look at the top left-hand corner, Jay. It'll tell
22.
You.
Nice.
No, top left-hand corner will tell you how many are watching.
I can't see. No, I can't see. Which way is that? Errol Sullivan, happy 2023 is going to be a cracking new year. I am excited for this one. Just need to save up for a new tank, to be honest. What's this? Finally, some foreplay because he's back in town. Oh my god! I know you've been looking forward to this one, mate. Drippy Reef Geek. Happy New Year to everybody in the chat. New Year's resolutions. My New Year's resolution is to try not to be a pest to you lot. Never.
I must say that's probably one of my favourite names on the whole viewers is Drippy Reef Geek. I think that's brilliant.
Drippy Reef Geek. It is a
name. I thought then I was reading that his New Year's resolution was to have no pests in his tank. Now that would be a pretty challenging New Year's resolution. Yeah. Just don't put anything in it for the year. You might have a chance then. You can't guarantee it. Sorry. Yeah, that's why you're here, mate, to have a laugh. Cottage Reef. Bet he's putting a shopping away. Was I late? Was I? What's going on there? Sorry if I was late. I don't know. Mrs. was probably having a go at me. Evening, Ian. Good to see you, mate. Got me mug here as well. A night of fishy fam. He's down with the kids with that lingo there, isn't he? Fishy fam. Anticipation on Jay's opening night gambit. Yeah, it's not going to go very well. Have I seen everybody now? Happy New Year. Evening, gents. Darren, thanks for joining us. Happy New Year. Might be a bit slow typing. Supplement feeding the puppies. Don't know what that means. Is that like?
Yeah, they had loads of pups, didn't they?
Oh, dogs.
Dog pups. Yeah, dogs. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Nice. Have I got to all the hellos? Oh, hey, we're live. Yes, we are live. Good stuff. Right. So, little catch up then, guys. Obviously, we've had 2 weeks. We've had Christmas. Have you treated yourself, or more importantly, has someone treated you? Have you had any reefing Christmas gifts or bought yourself anything in the sales? Let's go to. Go on then, Steve. Go to you first, mate.
No,
pretty much really. My missus actually bought me. She said, "I've got you something really nice for your tank." I said, "All right." I'm thinking it's gonna be a nice coral or something, maybe, or a voucher or something. Oh no, she decided to get me a scraper and said, "Scrape the bloody side of that grass off." You know what I mean? I was like, "Oh, all right, then fair play." So it's something useful. I use it, and you know what? So I mean, I was going to get the flipper one, yeah.
The new one,
and
the
then she said,
one.
"Which one do you want?" you know the float one which floats to the top if it drops. You know, like if it releases from the glass, it floats to the top. You see.
Yeah.
Anyway, when I went to Kraken's to get one, they had none in stock, even though it's shown on the website. But because obviously it's finest, that's the one. Yeah. I was going to get, the medium size one, the medium size. Yeah. Oh, you've got the nano, ain't you?
Ross has got
the nano.
Yeah, I've got the nano.
And it's even got any blades on it.
Yeah. So I ended up. They didn't have any. So I ended up getting the Tunzi. And I tell you what, guys, that Tunzi one is fantastic. Really, really good. Really powerful as well.
This Tunzi one's
that's that one. Yeah, that's the one, mate. Yeah, that's the one. Ross has got an array.
See, that wasn't from the shelf this time. That was from the side.
He prepared earlier.
What's
got a shelf on the side.
So many magnets, Ross. It's just like you like to mix it up. Sometimes in a Tunzi mood, a flipper mood.
The Tunzi is good.
So
I like that.
Without hijacking Steve's thing, the reason that I've got that one is for the Peninsula. Because that's the little nano one.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, that one does float as well, actually, so it's quite good. And then I bought this one for the big tank because that one was too. Yeah. I didn't want to use the same float on two different tanks. Plus, the glass is slightly thicker on that one, so
yeah,
the Tunzi one. But yeah, sorry, Steve, on you go, man.
No, it's the Tunzi one, isn't it? Don't you think?
Yeah,
really gets into it. Actually. It really gets into it, like where a bit of algae on the side and all. That's really, really good. Seems a lot more. Seems a lot powerful than the, but a lot stronger than the float one. I don't know whether that's true or not, but it just seems that when I was doing, when I was messing about with them both. But yeah, so she got me that, and then she got me a few bits and bobs, and then I'm actually dosing. I started on trace elements, the different trace elements called reef flowers. Isn't that the salt that you got, Paul? Did you put the reef flowers salt?
Was the sand.
Yeah, the sand. Sorry, the sand. That's right.
It was the Essex cleaning of the teeth sand. It's not so white now, but it's lost its white. But yeah, it was uber white.
Yeah. So I ended up. What do you call it? I ended up like getting some of that as well. Look, reading into it, and it's really good. But I believe with kalkwasser, when you're dosing kalkwasser into your system. So I basically got to dose like 6 ml of that once a week, and that puts trace elements in the tank. So what I'm doing is I put a thing up on my YouTube about which ICP I should go with, because there's loads in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I saw that on YouTube.
I think I'm up to. I think I know which one I'm going to go with after speaking to a few people as well, and getting their views on it. So I think I know which one I'm going to go with. And I'm going to mention that on my next video because I will have bought it by then. So I'm not going to tell you what it is, but
you're joking! You can't do that. It's no exclusive.
Yeah, so, I can't do that.
Because you used to use Triton, didn't you? Is that right?
Yeah.
Triton?
Yeah, I use
why
Triton.
Not just?
I still like go with Triton.
The same rule of reefing. It's like stick with what you know. If it works, don't fix it.
It still might be that Triton. Still might be it, my friend.
And historic, you get like that historical log, don't you? So when you put when your new data goes in, you can see how it's changed.
You get the app, but obviously it's the app in it. You go on the app and it stores in like you said, like your database in it, and then you can manage it. But I am gonna because I'm dosing that kalkwasser and I'm dosing this new trace elements, this reef flowers. I am gonna maybe do an ICP every 2 months. Because like people have said, it's just once you dose a kalkwasser, you know exactly where you stand then. You know where your trace elements are in your tank. Once you've got it dialed in. So it's worth it. For the sake of 30 quid a time, it's worth just getting an ICP and sending it off. And just and dialing it in. Because then once you dial it in, then you know where you stand then, don't you? You know what I mean? So
you're sending off to Triton,
I don't know. It's possible. You never know. This sounds a bit like that.
You're not posting it to Triton. Where are you posting it?
This sounds a bit like this yes/no game. You know that yes/no game where they used to say, "I bet I can make you say yes."
Well, can we do voting on it? Can you do voting? Which
you'll be able to.
You only do 2 things.
Oh yeah, Ross's massive poll. Where is it? Where do you press poll?
On the shelf.
It's a different shelf though, Paul.
I can't. Is it under? Anyway, if I try and find it,
I'll tell you what. Should we talk while you find?
No, well, you can, yeah. I was going to say just something about the magnets. No, this flipper float one, I don't really like it. It's not powerful enough, is it? In my opinion, it doesn't seem to get all the algae.
It was Haley actually mentioned it in the chat, but see the blade itself. The blade, when you're trying to put it against the glass, the blade doesn't sit flat against the glass.
It doesn't, no.
I think once you've used it, it seems to bend back a wee bit. So, the actual pad, when you're using that pad bit, it's brilliant because the pad, if you clean the glass regularly, then that's fine. But the actual scraper bit's nowhere near as good as the scrapers that's on that Toonsy one. It's a plastic scraper as well, so I'm a bit more happy with that. But the Toonsy one's definitely a lot stronger than the flipper one, and it doesn't seem to bend the actual scraper out of the way, which is what I found anyway.
Could that be an issue with the nano one? Because I got the nano one on here, but I got the size up for Christmas, and I thought that was really good. So I've got 2 of the size up, the new one, and obviously had one already because I've got 3 tanks and only 1 in each tank. And the new one I thought was really good, maybe because the blade was a little bit blunt on the older one. But I found so far I've cleaned the tank 3 or 4 times probably since Christmas, and I think it's better than the previous version. So I wonder if it's the nano one that's a little bit more flimsy.
When I first had that one, Paul, it was fantastic. It was really good, but over time I think the blade seems to move slightly further away. So I think that's the issue, because it was really, really good to start with, but the Toonsy one just seems a bit more substantial to lasting longer, I think.
Someone else has put here as well. I agree with this. I don't think the flipper are strong enough. Unless maybe you get the larger one like you did, Paul. I don't know. Maybe.
The larger one would be too much for this one.
Would it?
Yeah. Because the glass is a lot thinner. So when the glass is thinner, it's actually too strong and it's harder to move it around, I find.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you end up scratching all the glass.
You've seen the double one, though, haven't you? You've seen the one which has got blades on both ends?
No, I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen that one, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's new or not. I don't know if anybody else in the chat has seen it. But yeah,
the Toonsy one I've got's got 2 blades on it. It's got a small blade on that end, and then a bigger blade on the other end.
Yeah, I think this is a flipper one, but
I haven't seen the flipper one.
Yeah, it might be the flipper one, possibly. So Paul, have you?
So I got the flipper, and then I got some really exciting stuff. I've got the Elos high res phosphate refill kit, and then I got 4 packs of the DD Aquascape putty as well. So I know how to live.
That's like getting socks and pants in it, really. It's just like...
but it's what I wanted though.
Consumable. That's just consumables, isn't it?
On the list because I was nearly out of it, and I couldn't get the high res stuff. So Jill must have shopped around to get it because I was struggling to get it. No, who does this is the refill kit. It's a lot cheaper. It's about 20 quid compared to the brand new kit, which is I think about 40 quid. And then I was out at AAC before Christmas, and they had I think it was a sale 25% off. So Jill bought me the Cherub Angel, and she bought me a small chalice as well.
Yeah, I've seen the so how the Cherub Angel. What made you buy that one instead of like just going for like the clowns or the goby or whatever?
So I got the clowns there already. I wanted something different, and I've never had angel fish before. And it's really small. It's probably about just over an inch big, so it's ideal for the no. It could, like any an inch? Yeah, okay. It could eat coral, but we'll see. I haven't noticed the coral, but I have got
torch still in there. It's
I took the torch out. It didn't do very well, so I put it back in the other tank. So I've got a bubble coral in there now. Got a chalice in there. What else have I got in there? Lepto, some more zoas, and that's about it. And also war coral as well. So I've got quite a few corals in there. So you take all your fish out.
Just listening to that, just reading that comment now. What's making me laugh is that you keep losing your arm as well throughout the feed. It's like your arm just disappears and comes back in.
Look, remember the time when his whole body went and it was just his head?
His head, that was brilliant.
For the greens.
That is not your tank, though, is it? It's not even your tank, that. I don't recognise those corals there. I see your corals every week.
And they are tank.
Is it?
There's my tank, yeah.
Just stuck down a bit. I recognise it by the sandbed.
Yeah, it's my tank, mate.
Hey, look, to be fair, that sandbed. Where's the anemone?
It's gone, isn't it?
Oh, that's gone, mate. That.
Oh, is this is a really recent picture, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. These are photos that I've took and I've just put it on the back of it. I can change it over.
No, I like it.
Going back to live, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people in the chat, Paul, saying your tank looks really nice, and it's. Are you happy with how it's going so far, the cycle?
Yeah, I'm really pleased with it. The corals look good. The fish are doing okay, touch wood. Put some more snails in there. The snails are all okay. As I think there was a picture on yesterday, I've got a little bit of snot flying around in there, which is brown algae. It just comes and goes. But as long as the corals look good and the nutrients are kind of stable, which are beginning to stabilize a little bit in the fish, all right, the algae will just come and go because it's 4.5 months old. So the algae is just going to come and go. I've got a little bit of bit of cyano on a sand bed, a little bit in the corner, but again, that will go. So I'm not going to overreact to anything. What I have started to do is use a toothbrush. Use a toothbrush on the rocks. That gets the algae out if I really want to do that. But it's definitely improving. But I imagine it'll be like that for another couple of months. But the algae is definitely worse on the side where the window is. That side, it's a lot better. So it's definitely being influenced by the fact that that's getting light, well, as much as we do get light during the day. So it's probably the worst ugly stage I've had in the tank, but it's manageable. I've had no dinos or anything like that because the nutrients are high. Well, not really high, but they're not zero. I make sure I don't bottom out because I think it's worse to bottom out and start getting dinos than it is to have a little bit higher and to have a bit more diatoms and brown algae. But I'm at the brown algae stage.
I agree. Have a bit of filth, have a bit of dirt, have a bit of algae rather than the dinos. You don't want that, do you? Or all the cyano and stuff. I think
there was a little bit because I had a few bit of snotty bits with bubbles on top, but that was like a little patch. It was about an inch. Scrubbed it off and it's gone and it hasn't come back. So I was surprised how the corals have taken to it. The candy canes have started popping more heads. One of the zoas has started popping some heads as well. So some of the corals are actually growing. The only thing was the torch, and I wonder if I had that in the wrong place. So I'm going to put a torch back in it, but it's probably about 6 weeks until I add a NEM. So in 6 weeks, that means the tank will be 6 months old, and then the NEM will go in. So speaking to people, looking online, if you've got a sterile tank, it really takes about 6 months. I've also got a rock NEM, but the rock NEM in the other tank, and once I hit 6 months, that will go into there as well. I've never kept rocks. They look beautiful.
If you need any advice on NEMs, there's a guy here just who can give you some really good advice. Steve, any advice? Are you going bubble tip, or just rock flower?
I'm going to do both. So I'm going to have rock NEMs around the bottom because they usually stay on the sand bed in the cracks, and then I'll just put some bubbles in, and they'll take priority. So if they start stinging the corals will come out. So
if or when?
No, they'll be fine.
It's not if, mate. It's when they will start. That's it.
It'd be interesting to see. I've got some quite hardy ones in, like a bubble coral and not candy cane. And at the moment, I haven't seen a candy cane lose a fight against torches because torches kill most things. So I've had favias up against it, torches. So in the floating aquascape, I've got torches in there, and the torches are all over the canes, and the canes are just looking really good. And then I've got a Christmas tree favia. I haven't put a piece in there yet, and the torches have tried stinging that, and that looks really good. So we'll see. I might take the zoas out, but we'll see. I mean, if they start, the good thing is I've got another tank, so I can take the corals out, put them back in the other tank, and just leave the NEMs in there. So, we'll see who wins some of the fights that go on in there. I imagine the NEM will. You don't know.
Yeah.
We'll
I know Reef King's in the chat. He had a video recently. Was it a video or an Instagram? And he was saying about how NEMs have got this reputation of anything they sting, they kill. And he seemed to disagree with that. So, hopefully you're right. Hopefully, that the corals will live alongside the NEMs. There's a great video, though, isn't there, Steve, on YouTube? I think this is my favourite video that you've done, actually, where your missus films you fighting with the NEM. Isn't there?
Oh, boy. Nice that, when you're taking rock out, you just don't want that rock to drop the, against the glass. Oh, mate.
Nervous for you.
My heart was like that. Seriously, I was on the verge of saying to her, cut, stop filming. That's what I was going to say, mate. I thought I was going to lose it, because I could feel it splitting away, the adhesive, and I was like, the weight of that anemone. If you imagine an anemone is just raw water, it's water. That's what it is. It fills itself, its body up with water. That's what it does. That's why you get all the puffiness and all that. Yeah. And then when you take it out, it's just like a blob of jelly in it. You know, when you take it out and it just deflates, and it's like, the weight of it. Yeah, it's like exactly like that. Yeah, it's exactly like a jellyfish, mate.
Yeah,
and but the good thing was where the foot was, I could just tickle it and I could just like prise it off. I wasn't damaging it. Anyway, I took it back to the LFS store, my local LFS store, and they was like, you know what? Yeah, no problem. Put it in. They sent me a picture of what it looked like, and it looked huge, mate. It looked massive. So yeah, hopefully somebody will have it.
Somebody might have it.
I'm sure they will. There's still, I mean, when I'm speaking to some of the LFS, some of the popular things they sell are NEMs. And even though they say to some people, your tank's not ready, or do you know what the NEM's going to do? People still buy the NEMs. And even though they say don't put them in straight away if you've got a really sterile tank, they kind of usually say about 6 months. People still buy them. And then they still come back and they say, well, it's either died or my clowns won't host a NEM. And that can take ages for them to host.
But the coloration, when I had the NEM in mind, the coloration's unreal, isn't it? From the bubble tips, and they do look. I mean, it's just the unknown bit of what they're going to do next, and what they're going to do when you're not watching them. Because if they end up, you know, stinging something, or that's what I got really twitchy at one point with the corals. That's the thing, but.
That's it. That's the problem with them. Exactly like you said, they're stunning animals. Don't get me wrong. You know, beautiful creatures. And I'll never say like, you know, never get one because they're crazy. But I mean, I always look at them like anemones in like say just an anemone only tank. You know, with like a load of little baby clownfish, like a clown harem tank. You know, those sort of things. You see them on. Yeah, that Mileage Reef's got one, hasn't it? You know, that Mileage Reef. It's about 20 years old or something like that. Check his out. I tell you what, it's absolutely insane. Loads of clownfish, hundreds of bubble tips, and it just looks majestic. You know what I mean? It just does look like part reef. But I mean, like you said, it's the it's the unknown with anemones. They wander. If they like you said, they're not getting enough light. Yeah, they move out, and then you might have your favourite coral there at night time. Yeah, you go to bed, you wake up the following day, and it's gone. You know what I mean? Because that anemone stung you.
Speaking from experience.
Speaking from experience.
Hollywood movie Steve for this, shouldn't it? I think you're right. It does make me a bit nervous. Anyway, Ross, did you get anything gifted or bought anything over the Christmas holidays?
No. Nothing, but I did see thanks to finally looking after them and giving them a water change and a proper deep clean actually. So yeah, starting to get back on top of things again now. So tanks are all cleaned. Little Pico's still going there.
Yeah.
There.
Oh yeah.
It's still going. Things are ticking over. To be honest with you, I'm quite surprised how well they have done with almost being neglected for that length of time. To be fair.
I actually think then officially now, if I had some like fireworks on the screen, I think you officially win the Pico Reef Challenge between all four of us for 2022, mate. So I'm going to clap that in. Well done.
It's still there.
It's still there. It's still running. If you're having a Pico Reef, make sure you live in Scotland. That's all I'll say there.
There was quite a lot of folk had them, and there was still quite a lot of folk had theirs running. So I don't know who else has still got the original Pico running from when we first started that.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
I wonder if anybody in the chat.
Well, out of us for it, there was a little bit of, you know, alpha reefer sort of thing, wasn't it? And who could set it up and who could get it running. Paul filled his up on New Year's Day by looks of it, wasn't it?
No, New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
It was filled up with tap water and sat by the sink for 3 or 4 days, and now it's gone back into storage. I will set it up one day, but just not today.
I'll tell you something. See that little Pico? I know that everybody says weekly water changes, blah, blah, blah. Without a word of a lie, I probably haven't done a water change on that tank for 4 or 5 months. All I've done is topped up with the RO water and the thing is running a dream.
Not wrong with that, mate. Not wrong with that. I've been telling you that for the past year, mate. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
And does it look all right? Yeah. Cheers,
Looks
pal.
fine, mate. Looks fine. I mean, even the peninsula, now, the peninsula, to be honest, if you look, there's not much corals there. I did give my favourite corals away to Hoggy to look after them. So he's had them for a while looking after them. So I've still got corals in there, but all my favourite torches and so on are away. So that tank's ticked over with very, very little interference at all. The fish have been fed, the coral's been fed, and so on, but there's been no water changes done or anything like that for a long time. And don't get me wrong, the tanks ran for quite a while before I got to that stage, so it wasn't as if it was a new tank that I was doing that to. This one, on the other hand, was a new tank that I'd done that to. It turned out all right. It's not fantastic. Did get some kind of red cyano, but other than that, it seems to be doing not too bad. I haven't done water tests on that one yet, so I still need to do that. But yeah, I'm surprised that these two are still going as well as they are, to be fair. This one's still going. It's still going all right. It's not fantastic, but I'll get back on top of it again. And yeah, hopefully things will kind of kick off again, get the buzz for it again, and get some more coral.
Yeah, you do go through those little phases, don't you, where you're like, you kind of just like coasting along, and then you're like, oh, they get the passion back and the love for it back and things like that. Yeah, usually when you buy a couple of corals or a fish or something like that gets you.
That's what I was going to say. When you start getting coral again, that's when you usually start to take more of an interest. So
yeah, but you can't now, can you? Isn't the guy who you went to the what's it, Ness's Lair? That's not there, is it? Is it?
Yeah, he's closed down now. So I think he would still be able to get me corals if I wanted, but there's a couple other options there. To be honest, I'll probably just try some mail order places and see how I get on.
Yeah,
because I mean, the way the world's going, everybody is using mail order, aren't they? So without trying to, I mean, I know that I'm the problem there if I'm doing that, but I don't really have many other local fish shops I can go to. You know, I've got like Dobie's or Maidenhead, whatever it's called, but I don't rate them at all, to be honest with you. There's a couple of fish shops in Glasgow that are all right from what I've heard, but again, I don't know them. It's unknown, so yeah, I'm not sure on that one. But I'll probably try and get some mail order stuff, see how I get on with that, and then go for there. But yeah, my local shop's gone now, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do.
That's the problem, isn't it? In some places you've got an abundance of shops, like where I am, and obviously Steve, you've got loads. And you've
Manchester Triangle as well.
Jay, haven't you? But I know there's other people. I know John was saying in the chat before Christmas.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
an hour away, or maybe over an hour to an LFS is his nearest. Yeah, so I know it's really hit this depending on where you live. I just feel really lucky to have got loads within half an hour.
Yeah, I mean, like Steve's got loads, hasn't he? In the North Manchester area, there's so many to pick from.
He said within half an hour distance, probably maybe what 5, 6 of them that I could go to within half an hour of each. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it is good in that sense for sure.
Absolutely spoiled. So what was I going to say? We're going out with tomorrow, Paul.
Yes. So I'm in Birmingham tomorrow. I'm dropping Jill off, and then I'm driving up to Signature Frags.
Yes.
So I'm leaving Jill with friends. I've said, right, I'm going up to Signature Frags. So I think it's about an hour.
You've got your suit looked out, Paul.
Get your suit on, Paul. Tonight. You look scruffy whilst you come up north.
I'm going to feel very underdressed.
Yeah, you need a suit, 3-piece suit, shirt ironed, aftershave on.
Hairnet.
Hairnet.
You need the hairnet.
I might have to dye the hair as well, mightn't I?
Hairnet's it's not like a hairnet anymore, guys. Come on. Yeah, so we're going to Signature Frags tomorrow, aren't we?
We are.
So we've booked a thing with Christian. And we're going. What time are we going to be there?
Hopefully, they're about 2:30.
2:30. Stay you around?
Working.
Drive the bus.
Drive the bus. Bring everybody across to Derbyshire.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
2:30. Coral shopping. If you see anything, Ross, we can send it up your way.
I can just see you two walking up on a bus wearing suits to Signature Frag. That's the
The craziest thing is, you've seen my video of Ripley. It's not that sort of place to wear a suit, to be honest. Track suit, maybe. That's about it. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Hopefully, I don't spend too much money. I don't want to spend any money really. Well, not too much money tomorrow. But I
don't want to spend any money. Oh no, you know what? You just absolutely doomed yourself, mate. That's how you know that.
That's the thing.
The worst thing is we know for a fact that Paul won't be there going, just buy it, Jay. Just buy it. You should just buy that. Go on, Jay, just buy it.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't encourage him at all.
That was you, Ross, with them garden eels that I nearly bloody bought as well.
Yeah.
Should have bought them, mate. You should have bought
them. Them, mate.
No, I should have. I love them. I love garden eels, but then found out they need to be in like 6 inches sand or something ridiculous. I was going to put them in the corner here.
You could have just added more sand.
You have to put about 5 or 6 inches in. It would take half the tank.
You had 10 pound of of sand left from your nano and your Pico tank, mate. You'd have been hard.
I've still got half a bag of sand from that Pico challenge or whatever it was. Yeah, that was ridiculous. I mean, I think that's one of the mistakes I made with this. You can see it here. Look, it's doing my head in now because it's starting to. Like I try and turn it over, but you get the little staining and stuff like that. And it's like, I hate it. I need to take more sand out rather than add any more in. So
every tank gets like that, mate.
It's ugly though, isn't it?
You know what I do with mine? Seriously, when it starts to get bad like that, is get a toothbrush. Get it in and just use the toothbrush and just scrub it at the bottom like that, mate, and it goes away.
Move the sand away and use a
toothbrush as well, though, isn't it?
We'll scrape the
toothbrush. That's all you do. It's easy, mate.
The flip is rubbish.
But then you don't. If you go too close and you get it, and you get into the adhesive and all that.
Sealant.
That's why I don't do it. Get a toothbrush. It's a little bristled, and just give it a good brush, mate. It goes off.
That's the good thing about these tanks. It's all plastic armor there, so I can whack the thing right against it, and it won't make any difference. I just got to remember when I do towards the back wall. That's actually got sealant on it or silicone, so I have to watch that. But it's really weird when you go up against it and you hear the clunk against plastic. I just got to remember when I use the other tanks, I don't do the same thing. But yeah, it works really well. And I think also it helped a little bit with that mess at the bottom. Hopefully.
I think all tanks should do that.
Signature from you, Ross. About 200 miles, is it? Something?
Probably 3.5 hours. 3 hours, 3.5 hours. Where is it?
Wow.
North Derbyshire.
Oh, well, that's probably more than that'd be like 4 hours, isn't it?
4 hours, yeah.
Yeah, it's about 3 hours for me ordinarily, but it's about an hour and 10, hour and 15.
Yeah, so I think it's about 4 hours from me, maybe just over that. I'm not sure.
A bit far, I would say. Well, when you come down for Love to Reef, you can pass it on the way to Love to Reef. To be all right then. Grab us some Donny Paul. There you go. Look. Where's he gone now? Is that what the phone was? Was Stefan ringing Paul up to get him some Goniapora?
Hey, Paul's just about to grab the Gonies, isn't he? He's setting off.
He's just gone, hasn't he? I haven't seen it
for a couple. He's out there. Yeah,
tomorrow at 12, mate. Hey, just hang on. Just go a bit later and we'll meet up. There's nothing left, you cheeky son. Don't take any Gonies, will you? Don't take the Gonies. Leave the Gonies.
Taking all your good ones, mate.
Ross. What's that? Is that Rossite? Mail order.
Rossith mail.
Rossith mail.
Yeah, it's not too far away from me. It's probably only 10-15 minutes away, but I've used them before and didn't have great success, so I will use them again.
There you go. There's the review. Here first. That's what we like to be, nice and honest. Hard working out, raise the litter. Oh, this is the dog. There's a massive dog chat going on at the same time here, I think. So Darren's got some French bulldogs. If anybody wants to buy one later, nice. I think they've only just been born just before Christmas. I can't find that bit of the chat, but I don't know. Yeah, he's got some dogs going on as well. So there we go. What else is happening? I can't do this. I can't do the chat and listen to you guys. How do you do it? Anyone want a brand new RDI pressure gauge for free? Wow, 1/4-inch fitting. Now, I've got one. I've recently bought one, so I'm a bit gutted that I missed out. But anybody in the chat want a freebie? There we go.
How is your RODI adventure going, Jay?
It's
not
set up yet.
Not set up yet. I've got the kit, and then I've got to watch your 15-minute industry quality video to learn how to do it. Industry standard video, and then we'll be up and running. But
what I should have done was a PowerPoint presentation for you. Then you'd have had it up and running in no time.
I've got enough PowerPoint presentations, as you probably know. I haven't got. In honesty, I haven't got. And the schoolboy error I made was I didn't technically buy it. My wife bought it for my birthday. We didn't use the bearded Reef 10.
Oh no!
Oh,
is that still a thing? Is
Only you could manage that, Jay.
And he talked about it for 2 years.
There used to be one point where I used to use it on every website I went to, even Amazon.
Yeah, it works.
Be a Reef 10. But I've missed out on the discount, Ross. But apart from
Disappointed.
Absolutely chuffed. That's my reefing resolution. That is the Aquati using the RODI filter instead of using that other company that I used to use. Even though
I like it.
You know what? I'm going to find it hard because it's damn cheap and it's so easy just to go there. But we'll see how we get on. I'm hooked on just easy options there. Has anybody else got any reefing resolutions or anything that they're going to do more of this year than they did last year?
I'm going to actually look after my tanks this year.
He's going to stay at home more.
You've been away from it for on and off, haven't you? So you can't. That's just like with work and stuff, isn't it? So there's nothing you could have done with that, is there? You know what I mean? But you do look after them when you're there anyway, Ross, don't you? So that's the main thing.
Yeah.
It'll be spotless. I mean, it'll be really clean in no time.
AI posted some pictures of your tank. Was it last week or the week before?
I saw that.
From that, it looked really good.
Tropic Marine was all over it, weren't they?
Was it Tropic Marine or was it AI? I can't remember.
They both done it for some strange reason. I don't know why. Yeah. But it's one of those that I looked at the photo and was like, if they could see it now, they might not share that photo. But, I mean, to be fair, I'm probably being harsh. It actually doesn't look that bad. It's just that I've got a lot of the corals out that were in there before. So it looks a bit bare just now compared to what it was. But yeah, there was a point where, I'm not going to lie, it did look really, really good and I was really happy with it. But now I need to get back to that stage again. I'll get there.
It won't take long.
With your routines that you had beforehand and kind of husbandry with the reef, it won't take long. And you've had fish and corals fish and things for ages, haven't you? So you know what you're doing. That picture though is incredible. Did you Photoshop that clownfish in the arch?
No.
It's just
but what you'll find though is, seeing my camera roll, there's probably 30 pictures either side of that of me just keeping taking pictures to try and get it to the point. And I look at them and go, yes, I got it.
You got it at last.
So, don't be fooled by a photo that I put up as one take. It's probably been 30 different takes of a photo till I finally get the one where the clownfish in the right place, because they move that quickly and then they end up a blur and it's just a nightmare. So when I take photos, I mean, I just take the photos on my phone. But when I do it, I probably take at least 20 or 30 pictures of that one picture till I see where the fish are to get the best one. That's all it is.
Yeah, the trickery of the camera. A lot of my pictures that I take for Instagram or even my YouTube videos that I do, I've often done a water change beforehand. Somebody commented on my, was it on the video or on my Instagram? How do you get your water so clear? And I'm like,
change it.
Change it. That's what I did. Changed it. No tricks really. Just changed it. And I use a bit of carbon as well, which helps. But yeah, just changed it up. So you're gonna spend more time with your tank. That's good.
Yep.
As Paul, are you doing anything? Any more of anything this year or anything less?
Well, if we get the extension done, then I will get a brand new tank. But I'm not sure if that will happen or not.
Tank number 4. No,
the tanks will have to go. I'll go down. I'm going to have 4. There's no way I'm going to be able to maintain 4, so I might go down to 2. Once that one's set up, I can then transfer a lot of the corals and the fish into the bigger tank. But we'll see if that happens or not, because the cost of extensions has just gone through the roof. So I'm not too sure we really want to do it or not, but we'll see. But yeah, if we do, it'll probably be a peninsula, either 5 foot or 6 foot.
I do like a peninsula. I do like.
Yeah, they are nice.
And for the lighting and the photography is really good as well, because you can get the backlight of it. Or like a side, a side.
Yeah, I was just thinking the fact that you got more room for coral, because obviously you've got 3 sides.
Yeah.
You can put the corals. So it's obviously more cost because you've got to put corals both sides. But over time, you've got a lot more to play with, haven't you? Rather than kind of just one length, you've got 2 lengths in the end. Yeah. So
I do like it. Black Pearl Reef, mate, that's not going to happen in 2023. No chance. It's no chance in my tank. My tank is an LPS softy tank now, I've decided. Official. It was always going to be that as well.
But you have got SPS that are anything other than brown, though, haven't you?
I've got one, yeah.
Has the others gone brown then? Because you had
no, because my torch.
They were always brown.
the happy torches go like the tentacles go miles. Like Steve, your last video with your torches looked incredible, by the way. Really, really good. But they've just been stung. Bits of them have been stung in my tank. So I have to just take them out. Yeah. What are you doing more of, Steve? Getting some more heaters this year, or?
Oh, it's got to be
possible
the annual change.
Probably, yeah. I'll probably have to get a
water change,
another heater at some point. And you know what? I've not really thought, to be honest. If the truth be told, Jay, I don't really. I've not got much planned. I just want to dial it in now. You know, just let the growth. And in all honesty, I wanted to see all like tons of growth on the SPS. That's what I want to do. Try and get it all dialed in, get it right down. Like I said before, ICP tests, do more ICP tests, find out where the tank stands. Obviously, we're not like doing water changes. You know what I mean? It's it's different. It's difficult, but that's my main thing. I think just to get it dialed in. Yeah, and not buy any more coral. No more coral. Cannot buy.
The problem you're going to have though is you dial it in. Those weeds are just going to grow faster, aren't they? And you're going to have more. You're going to have more SPS warfare, and they're all going to kind of grow into one another, which then creates another issue because they get too dense, and in the middle start to die off because they've got no flow going through them. I
predict Steve's frag tank will make a return.
Oh, maybe.
I think it's possible that I was going to say that.
I can see that maybe
a frag tank might be coming. Yeah, it might be coming back into the kitchen. We never know. That could be that. But a bit. Think square one. A higher one, but just square, to fill that space. I think that's what I'm going to, rather than the rectangle, which that one was, I'm going to do like a square and just have that for frags. Not going to turn it into a reef. No rock, the only rock that I will have is like rock maybe from me existing tank, you know what I mean? Just to kickstart it, to seed it, Well, that would be it. But that would be in the chamber or wherever it is. If it's a because really, in hindsight, when I think about it, I have got all the equipment in the fish room there to start a new tank. All I've got to do is buy a tank. I've got a skimmer. I've got everything. I've got everything in there. Heaters. I've got the old lock wave makers. I've got everything in there to start. You know what I mean? Everything, mate, other than like a tank. But it's like you said, it's setting it up and then it's monitoring it. And like, but the last one, it basically ran itself, and so it's possible that because, like my missus said, she does miss it. Even my missus says she misses it. You know what I mean? That frag tank. So
in the kitchen,
I don't know.
I like that. It's really nice.
All your cooking smells and all that, though, doesn't that like?
We don't make the fish hungry, is it? They're hungry anyway.
Yeah. Doesn't do anything. That's a strange thing.
I don't mean like they're going to want the dinner.
Oh, that's a lovely curry. I fancy that. That's why it jumped out. It was after the food.
Oh yeah, he loves
a piece of chicken.
I'm a piece of that.
No, it was all right. I think all right. The one thing I did have an issue with was, like if I was cooking with like maybe say oil, like putting a little touch of oil in a pan, you didn't know whether it was being splashed into the tank because it was close to it. You know what I mean? But no, I never had any issues.
You like surf? Do you clean your kitchen with like cleaning agent stuff?
Yeah, of course I do. Yeah, just like everybody else. But it's just. Yeah, there was not. Well, you've seen it.
It's got to be comment of the day there. Steve, do you clean your kitchen?
Well, I'm trying to imagine Steve.
Yeah, cleaned his kitchen.
What's that?
If I said no, I'll leave everything on the side, Jay, what would you have said?
Well, in my house, the door to this room is shut pretty much all the time. Any like fragrance, bleach, air fresheners, plugins. Like, I just worry.
Stink of sweat in there, mustn't it, Jay?
In here?
Yeah.
Right.
You don't allow anything in?
I don't like anything in. No, not at all. Like if I clean, I just clean with a cloth and water. Wipe the surfaces.
Just like that.
Is that OCD? I don't want any like aerosols of anything getting into the tank.
I've got 2 aerosols over in on my shelves there, on my shelves, yes. You know those ones that spray every, is it like 20 minutes or something?
What, above the reef?
Yeah, and I've got 2 of them on it spraying into the living room, mate. I've never had any issues whatsoever with my tank, ever. You know what I mean? Never.
Maybe it's just
so, yeah. And we have the scented candles. I have more candles in this house, with my missus. Swear to God, mate. Yeah, than you could ever think of.
Like I say,
it takes her about 10 minutes to go round lighting them all in the living room.
Then your neighbours call the fire brigade.
So Jay, you know why the chromists are so large then, don't we?
Oh yeah.
It's all the aerosol.
Or like radiation or so. I don't
High
know.
on Airwicks.
Yeah. Airwicks, that's it. Yeah, the Airwicks, mate.
That's it. Hey dear.
Brilliant.
Maybe it's just me being a bit over the top. Yeah. I agree. See, look, somebody else is a bit like OCD with me. I have plugins.
I agree with
yeah, but Haley, with all due respect, we
put the most dangerous chemicals in our tank, but we've got to be careful around a bit of aerosol and all that. Come on, mate.
What's dangerous that goes in there? Calcium, that's already in a natural reef. Salt,
everything is dangerous.
No, it's not.
Well, look into it, mate.
You might be putting dangerous things in yours, but I keep mine.
If you put too much alk in it in one go, then you can nuke the corals, couldn't you?
It's too much calcium.
You've got a biosuit. You've had a biosuit on before, haven't you, Steve?
What?
Oh no, that was when you. So let's go with the calc thing. You've got all your family in biosuits while she did this, didn't you? Is that right?
Well, mate. Tell you what, check into kalkwasser, what it is, calcium hydroxide, mate. It's a very stuff. You don't want to get it on your thing. You read up on reviews, some of them, mate. Seriously, there was one person who breathed it in and he was coughing up blood. So listen, I don't want to be doing that. That's not good, mate.
So why didn't you mix it up in the kitchen, in the garden?
I know. Why did you do it in your family living room?
I don't know. No, I did it in the kitchen.
I don't know.
Because it's winter, it's too cold.
It's too cold for him outside.
It's winter out there. We're not going out in the winter.
I'd rather freeze than choke.
What then? Cause lung damage to your whole family?
I was protected, mate. I had my mask on. I had my Oakley cycling glasses on.
I've seen the video.
You know what I mean? So it was like, you know what? You know what I mean? And we was all right with it, mate. There was nothing wrong with it. So that's the way I do it now, all the time. I make sure the kids are out and nobody's in that, you know, in the kitchen and all that. And make sure that you wipe down surfaces. You know what I mean? That's what you got to do. Just make sure if you're dealing with that sort of stuff. So yeah, everything's good, mate. It's all good. What's that?
Oh yeah, Chris's comment about you relying on cleaners that clean your water rather than you doing it. Getting lazy. So this calc then, how's it going?
It's going fantastic, mate.
I'm
not saying that.
Is it a week?
It's been over 3 weeks now. Close to three and a bit weeks now. Yeah, I've already mixed. I do a 25 litre the tub. Yeah, that one nearly ran out, and I mixed another one. So yeah. So we're about 16 litres. About 14 litres, 15 litres left of that. It doses 1.9 litres, which I've got it on the lower side of dosing kalkwasser. You know what I mean? Granted, yeah. But that's around about half of my evaporation rate through the day. So it's about 4 litres a day that I'm averaging evaporation. So I went on the side of air of caution. So now I dose like 1.9 litres of the solution into a tank. And yeah, I mean, I swear to God, the most thing I've seen out of it, let's put it this way. I was dosing 350. The only thing I have, which I'm confused about, is it's calcium hydroxide, so it's calcium and alkalinity together. What it doses, but it also raises your pH. The biggest thing I've seen by a long shot is the pH. pH doesn't drop in my tank below 8.2 now. Even when there's people in the living room, it's 8.2. I've got it. I had to program it onto my Apex. I had the Versa onto the Apex, and I had to set it because it went to 8.55. I think it was the pH went to 8.55. So I capped it. So I put a program in via the one-arm reefer. He sent me the code and said what you need to input it on the Apex, and it was like, so now I've capped it at 8.4. So if it goes above 8.4 on it, it switches the Versa off, so it doesn't dose it. You know what I mean? Which is keeps it at 8.4, so it never goes above 8.4, never drops below 8.2. You know what I mean? So, but you can see like white tips on all the SPS, mate.
Yeah.
You see all the white tips. All the white tips are all coming up on it. So, and it's been 3 weeks, 3 and a bit weeks. So, I don't know. It's got to be that, mate.
Growing like weeds in no time.
Well,
mate, it's in 6 months' time. 6 months' time.
Ross, do you need any SPS for your new tank? Because I think you might be having some soon.
Mate, anybody, you know what I've said, and that's what I said. I'm going to flag them all and I'll give them away. I'm not bothered. Just if people want them, they can have them. You know what I mean? I'm like I said before, I'm not in it to be more bothered. I just want a really good tank, which people say it looks incredible, and I want it for, and it's one of the best, and it's one of the best 3 for 350s out there. That's all I want people to say. I'm not asked about making money or anything.
I think it is anyway. To be fair, Steve.
No, it can be better, mate. There's certain parts of it that I want to be better. You know what I mean? Especially that new scape, the new side now, where that anemone used to be. Now, I was going to go with an all Zoa rock there, like put loads of Zoas and all that, yeah. But then the guy at the reef shop said, why don't you go for deeper, like the deeper SPS? You could get
the smooth skinned SPS.
The smooth skin, which is deeper in the ocean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not as colourful. That's the only problem. It's not as colourful, and I want something bright, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I really don't know what to do with that.
I still think I think he looked good with the NEM.
It did, mate. But
if I have a look at where you got the dark patch there, it's not there.
Yeah.
That's made for a NEM.
100% it looked good with an NEM, mate. I'm totally agree with you. Even my missus says it looks dead bare there now. You know what I mean? And I'm like, it does look dead bare, to be fair. But like I said, it just comes back to what it's stinging and everything. And like when I moved those euphyllias down on the floor, the torches, that gold torch has coloured up so much. I think it likes lower light. I don't think it likes the dead bright light, in the middle where it was. Since I moved it down there, the colour of the gold is what you see on the videos. Yeah. It's so deep in gold, you know what I mean? It's crazy colour, you know what I mean? So I'm really happy with that. And other than that, mate, everything's going really good. And the aqua forest has come down from 350 a day, which I was dosing. Now it's down to 210. So big difference, you know what I mean? Dropped by 140, you know what I mean? So I'm really happy with that, So can't really complain in a sense. It's all going well. Just got to keep it there now.
pH is really good into it there. And I'll say, I think the torch was the best I'd seen him last time I saw on that video.
I agree, mate. I'm not just saying I agree. I have to agree with you. If you see them in person, they look better in person than when they do on the video.
Well, there's a nice plug, look, because Dan's Reef here said when it starts growing like a weed, he'll have some of your HG Holy Grail torch.
Absolutely, no problem.
The thing is, though, right, see if you look at anybody that's went on to calc, nobody's got a bad word to say about it. Everybody's went on to calc, raves about it, and says it's fantastic. Exactly. I don't understand why more people don't do it.
I think it's coming back in. It went out of fashion, and now I think more and more people are using it because one, it brings up your pH, and pH is talked about a lot more, isn't it, in the last 12 months? And also it's dirt cheap as well. So you got a combination of it's actually quite easy to set up by the sounds of it from what Steve says. But if you really, I suppose, research it first, it's cheap to run and it takes your pH up. And also it does your alk and your calc as well, doesn't it? Although you've got to do other stuff with it by the sounds of it, Steve.
I think a lot of people stay away from it because if you think of even if you have like say your tanks, Jay, a nano, you couldn't really dose kalkwasser into a tank, even if it was full of SPS. That only because of the evaporation. You've got to dose it with your evaporation rate. So if you're only getting 1 litre of evaporation a day on your tank, you're not going. It'll be worth it to put 1 litre of kalkwasser in your thing because you're not going to see any benefits of it. Whereas the larger systems you'll find, when I've researched it, the large system, the 750s, the 1000s, the 2000 litre tanks, a lot of them are already on it. They're dosing kalkwasser because their evaporation is probably maybe 10 litres, 15 litres a day or something, you know what I mean, on these things, so they can supplement it, and then they supplement it with the trace elements, and that's the thing, and that's the one thing that I was wary with doing mine was, have I got enough evaporation to dose it, you know what I mean? Because if I've not, then there's no point in setting it up, and it's just like I said, 4 litres a day roughly is probably the bang on the sweet point where the dose, like I said, 1.9 litres, and then the rest of the other two litres is mixed with RO, which doses in, and the aqua forest that doses in as well. So I'm down to, like I said, 210 of the aqua forest. So that's another 600 mil of that, And then, so basically 1.4 litres, 1.5 litres of RO dosed into that tank, as opposed to what it used to be, 4 litres a day. You know what I mean? So that's probably why I think people tend to stay. But like Ross says, the main thing is, if it works, it works for most people. Why don't more people go on it? You know what I mean? Especially if they've got larger tanks. Do you know what I mean?
So what sort of tanks are you thinking there? Obviously, his nanos are too small because of evaporation. Yours is 350.
Oh, yeah.
200?
Mine's
too small.
300
and above.
I'd say 300, and above, I would have thought. It depends on your evaporation.
So excuse my ignorance on this one, right? But obviously your evaporation proportional, so a bigger tank evaporates more, a smaller tank evaporates less, but you've still got that same proportion of evaporation, regardless of what the tank size is. So could you not still dose the calc, but just in smaller volumes, or does it not work that way?
That's what I was thinking.
It's less concentrated in it. It's a very weak kalkwasser is a very weak solution. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if your tank lost 1 litre in your tank, say for instance, you would be but you was dosing alkalinity and magnesium via supplements, Say for 10 mil of each of them, you're getting your trace elements into that, aren't you, as well, But if you just dose kalkwasser, remember it doesn't have all the trace elements in it. In fact, it has no trace elements in it. You know what I mean? All it's dosing is your calcium and your alkalinity. So you've got to supplement your magnesium, which you do that if you do water changes.
We can do that, and we can do that. I do that anyway. Free dose, part. You do that, don't you? I do that.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. Or you and then you've got to add your trace elements into your tank as well. That's if you don't do water changes or whatever. But so say you then decide, right, well, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to put 500 mil of kalkwasser in it. It won't do anything. It might raise your pH slightly, but it's not going to do much. I wouldn't have thought it's going to do much. I know what you're saying because of the water volume of your tank in proportion of the evaporation. But I don't know whether it would do. I don't know whether it would do the same as what, like, say, if you had a 1,000 litre tank or a 2,000 tank or a 500 litre tank. I don't know whether it would balance it out, in all honesty. But I mean, from what I've read, the larger systems, they seem to have the calcium reactors on it. You know what I mean?
Research to get you started.
That Randy old file, that Randy Holmes file, He had a big thingy on it about those.
I might read it.
He had one. Is it thingy Meckley? Is it, what's it called? Not Joe Meckley, is it Mike Meckley, or the one who's got the farm in America?
Melev's Reef.
Melev's Reef, he did an interview with a guy called Meckley, can't forgive his surname. Right. And he's like the cow. He doses cow like in bloody huge buckets, mate, like major container buckets into his like 25,000 litre tanks and all that. It's crazy. It's insane, mate. We're talking like he's dosing like 50 litres, 60 litres of this stuff, kalkwasser, in the systems. It's just mind-boggling, mate. And I watched it, and he did a video, 30, I think it was like 30 minutes, 35, all up talk on kalkwasser, what his systems that he puts them on, and blah blah blah. It was dead crazy, mate. Like really interested in what he was talking about and stuff. And really, when I set up, I was really like, I didn't know whether it was going to work, mate. I thought, is it going to work? Am I going to overdose with tank? Is it going to really see any beneficial and out of it? And really, the main thing, really, like I said, out of it is probably the pH. The pH has risen crazy, in the tank, which is, as we all know, a higher pH promotes better health for the coral. Do you know what I mean?
8.3.
8.3. But then, because the majority of the world's population of the oceans sit at around 8.3 during the morning, afternoon, and night. That's what it averages at. You know what I mean? So
I thought they were a bit more acidic.
When people say 8.4 and 8.5, that's way. People say that it's way too high. You know what I mean? It's too high, and that's why people cap it. Like say 8.35, 8.4, the max. But you do get better growth. That's proving that you do get better growth with a higher pH. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's a learning curve. I'm just learning. Like I said, I've only been dosing it 3 weeks now, 3.5 weeks. And
so if anybody's thinking about doing it,
and we'll see. You know what I mean? If you want to think about doing it, I would say go for it, mate. Don't be nervous about it. Just keep monitoring, but you must monitor it, like your alkalinity I mean, I'm fortunate I've got the KH keeper that's working okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So for me, it's like I was testing I had my KH keeper set 24 every hour, testing every hour. You know what I mean?
Got a new one, isn't it?
Yeah, it was doing overtime. You know what I mean? The KH keeper was doing overtime. But you know what? I knew exactly where I stood then. And then what I did was over the week, I adjusted my aquaforest dosing. Took my aquaforest dosing between the hour. You know what I mean? So I dropped it from like say 10 mil an hour. I dropped it to 8 mil an hour, and then the following day when I seen it, it might have leveled it out slightly. You know what I mean? Or it might have dropped too much. So I just knew where it was then. So now it sits around 8.56, 8 point, and it doesn't go above 9 now. So it's like it's only at 0.05 fluctuation through the 24 hours, which I'm happy about. I'm not really that bothered. I think that's okay. It's only if it goes like 1 DKH, 2 DKH, and it's up and down like that, then really you could have issues. But no, but other than that, mate, touch wood, it seems to be right.
Yeah. So question, Steve. So you obviously have the solution to a certain level, so a certain mixture.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking, I've got a smaller tank, and I haven't got as many corals. Could you weaken the solution?
No.
So therefore, you can carry on dosing. So, because if I dose to that level 24/7, I suspect it's going to be too much in the short term for my tank, but it would take the pH up. I don't want the alkalinity to go through the roof, because if you're overdosing on calcium and alkalinity, calcium I'm not fussed about because that can go up a little bit higher, not so much of an issue. But if your alkalinity is going up and up and up, if it's steady, then it's not a problem. But once it is about 12, it's going to get counterproductive long term.
Kalkwasser solution, as a is it the pH? Is it or of 12.4? Not pH, sorry. The of the alkalinity is 12.4 or something. You know, no matter whether you put 2 tablespoons in or you know, like that when you get cow squirters, you know, like when you get cow stirrers, and you see them, they put like a big shovel full in it, and they have the slurry at the bottom, don't they? You know, the slurry at the bottom. That is the same amount. The actual water that's in the actual chamber, is the same amount. Even if I put in, like, say, 2 teaspoons, it's the same thing. They just have it as a slurry. So what they do is it stirs it up every, like, say, couple of hours, but it mixes it up to the same strength solution as what I've
so
got.
What you're saying, it doesn't. So if you mix it to half the solution or a third of the solution or the recommended, it doesn't make any difference.
No, it'll be the same strength when
you
going
can't dilute
into your tank. No, don't think so. Well, you cannot put enough in. So, like, say if you only put, like, say a tiny tin in a 25
so instead of putting
cup,
three spoonfuls in, you put 1.5. That would obviously dilute it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I put 35 grams of solution of powder, of kalkwasser powder, in that 25, with 35 grams of powder, in that 25 litre tub. Yeah, that's what it works out at, that you should do. That's what you should do to give the right amount of alkalinity and calcium going into your tank. Yeah, but if I could put in 70, but all that'll happen is there'll be powder or residue, you know, on the bottom of the tank, of the bottom of the bucket. I could put in 150 grams of the powder, and all that'll be, and I can mix it up as much, but it won't mix up into the water. It won't mix. It won't dissolve. You know what I mean?
So basically, there's a point where
that's
you
why
put more in it won't. So you, by the sounds of people saying you can dilute it more. Excuse me. What you're saying is 35. Say it's 35 grams per 100. Making this up. Yeah. If you was to put 50 grams per 100, it comes to a point where it doesn't increase the strength of it because it won't mix and it just settles on the bottom.
Yeah,
there's a tipping point where you add more, it doesn't have any benefit or anything at all. No. You can dilute it. So therefore, instead of 35, you could do 25 or 20. Yeah. Therefore, you're bringing it down because that would probably work better for me in the short term. And then as I get more corals and you get better growth, then you can bring it up to the recommended dosage without having to increase the amount of RO that you're dosing.
Exactly. So that's why cow stirrers, when they have loads in the bottom of it,
I need to look into it a bit more.
It turns the actual chamber, doesn't it? Yeah, and all that's doing is
I've seen the stirrers,
solution at the
bottom. Ones on there about like that. Yeah, there's a stirrer that goes around every so often, and they're really expensive, aren't they? They're about $300-400 a shot.
Oh, the Mega Mate, really expensive. They're really expensive, but all they're doing is they'll be set on timers where it'll turn, and it'll mix the solution up. But that slurry you don't want getting in your tank, so that's the reason why
it stays there, and by stirring it, some of it will come up and dissolve and then go into your system. Yeah,
and goes in your tank via the water. That's what it is. That's all it does. But yeah, it is crazy, like working out and when you think about it. It panicked my head, mate.
That's as clear as slurry.
That's as clear as slurry, that is. Yeah. We're just going back to the original question. Why doesn't everybody dose calc? Well, there you go. There's your answer. Because it's a bloody minefield. I'm none the wiser here. I know people
you use it on a small tank.
Like CD.
Ross, I think
CDP.
I think you can.
This CDP has put this down, so you can fully saturate 6 grams, 2 for 4 liters, So so like mine is like 25 liters, and I'm doing 35 grams in mine, So he's saying there, but you can add less to get a weaker solution. Granted, So if you've got a weaker solution, that would mean you would have to put a hell of a lot more. You'd be dosing a hell of a lot more of that solution into your tank, so you'd need a bigger system. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a weaker solution.
Yeah, but you may want to dose less in terms of solution
on a smaller
because
tank.
You don't need as much.
Yeah.
Sussex Reefs joined us. You've joined us at the wrong time, mate.
It's a chemistry lesson.
Headache of cow.
So the question is anybody willing to try this on a small tank and see how they get on?
I think you should. Question. I think
I'll tell you what. You know what? That would be interesting to see, Paul. I vote for you. So I think.
So what?
No, I vote for you.
Let's go.
You see if there be any changes on a smaller system like that one behind you.
I touch wood. I've never wrecked a tank, and I'm just about to. all in the name of it'd be Fish Palace TV.
It'd be a good thumbnail, Paul.
Mate. Yeah. No, you'd be good, mate. I think I don't like.
So I can either do it on the 170 or I could do it on the 280, which is the 900. I think I'd go for the DD 900, which is a 280 one, because the floating aquascape doesn't really need it. I've just got LPS in it. I dose about 15 mil of Alpha Reef. I don't need calc in that. Whereas the other one, I could fill that with a lot more coral and probably go over to calc.
You sound interested.
There you go, Paul. There's your project sorted.
Well, the thing is, I can't grow proper SPS in there because the pH, because it's in a garage.
You're not the only one in here that can't do that.
It's in a garage, so there's not really good air circulation. So therefore, I don't have good pH. But I could put it into that tank, because at the moment I can grow Montes, but I can't grow any acros, not properly anyway. They just sit there and laugh at me and don't move. They don't grow. They don't do anything. So,
you should have a high pH in your garage.
Why would I? There's no circulation of air.
Is it the garage is on the outside, so it's got like a thingy doors, but there's no air.
Shut.
You got draft excluder. Have you got a draft excluder on your garage door or something?
There's a rubber bar at the bottom. Oh, I said to Jill, I'm going to be about a foot off the ground because I want my pH to be high.
The posh down south, they've got rubber trims around the bottom of the garage.
You can see daylight through my garage door right round it.
You can actually see in my garage through the door. That's how big the gaps are.
No, clearly I've got a decent garage door.
Well, there you go.
Here
we go. I knew you'd come on here and show off about your garage. Anyway, going on about this, the calc vat. You've got a good solution for getting rid of all your containers, ain't you, Steve? You want to share it with the audience?
Well, how do you
hide all your containers?
I shove them behind the counter. My missus is side, whatever you call it.
Sideboard in the
1970s.
Yeah, the sideboard. Yeah, but now I like it. Now she's getting a bit peed off now because I'm starting to add all machines on the wall. So now she's not very happy now. You know what I mean? I'm adding machines. I've got the Versal on the wall now. She went, "How many more are going on this wall?" So I'm like, I don't know yet. We'll have to figure it out at some point.
Do you know what you're going to do?
Calcium reactors out the way.
Steve, be a bit of genius. Put a frag tank next to the 350. Plumb the frag tank into the 350, and so the cabinet for the frag tank, you can have all your Versa and everything in it.
Genius.
That sounds a good idea. That sounds a good idea, actually, to be fair. Yeah, but the problem I have then is, where do I move the sideboard?
Well, I'm sorry, I can't solve miracles, can I? I've solved the problem of the...
put it in front of the door. You know what I mean?
In the kitchen. In the kitchen. In the kitchen.
So the sole purpose of the sideboard is to hide your 4 containers. Is that what it is?
Basically, yeah.
Yes.
That's what it is now. It wasn't originally. That wasn't in the plan. But it has turned into that. Yeah.
No, it's a frag tank, but there we go. You can plumb it in and be happy.
Jay will start using calc to upgrade it. No, I don't think I need to use any calc on my tank. Even though I do agree with Ross. I think Ross is right. You work out your evaporation, you could just offset it with the calc. I'm sure that would work.
Yeah. But I don't see why it wouldn't, but I don't know enough about it. I've done no research whatsoever.
I reckon, you know what? I reckon you should do the research, but I don't know, like, the amount of evaporation, whether it would be beneficial. I don't know whether it would work, in the sense, like, it would definitely give you more pH, but as for dosing, like supplementing the alkalinity and calcium, I don't know whether it would be strong enough. I don't know. I could be wrong, totally wrong, but I wouldn't like to say, but.
What's this ACI?
Yeah, John's got an alk at 11. 11, is it? I think it's about 11. Oh, here it is. Yeah, he's got an alk of 11. And then they're just chatting about, don't worry about dosing kalkwasser when about your alk. Look into the ACI aquaculture method.
If you're only dosing calc, don't worry about that.
Right.
I think I need to do some research.
Aquaculture. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? UK Reef Pro? I don't know what that is, actually.
So, Steve, before we move away from this whole thing, is on a slightly different note. I don't know if you've seen, but I've seen today that they're bringing out a new Reef Factory pH probe, or they've brought out a new pH probe for your KH keeper.
Yes.
Have they?
I have seen it.
He likes
is that the plus plus?
Yeah, I have seen this, but you know what though, Ross? Touch wood, I don't want to jinx this pH probe here. Remember,
don't say it. Don't say it. You
wasn't the conversation.
Obviously, Ross hasn't been on him, has he? Yeah, so obviously I got a new KH keeper sent to me, and it had a newer pH probe in it, because it was all clear, this one, and it had like a ball on the end, whereas the older one, it had like sheathing around it. So if slime or something got on it, it's more harder to clean. Whereas this one, it's just like an all glass, if you know what I mean, like thing. And touch wood, it does seem to be pretty accurate. You know, I dipped it in the solution, and it seems to like coming on spot on. So I'm going on with that one. So I don't know, like, with this new one, what they're bringing out. I don't know where, really, in theory, like, where it's going to stand in the game. In all honesty, I don't know, but I really don't know, mate. To be fair, I'm happy with what I've got. You know what I mean? But it seems larger than the new one, doesn't it? You know, thicker.
Yeah,
it seems thicker than the other one. So, is it? Yeah, I don't know.
And does that
like you said, Ross? You work with pH probes, like things worth 10 times as much as what we have, and you say they don't last 5 minutes today. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day,
lucky if you get 3 months of use out of them.
Exactly, and they'd like 10 times the price of what we're paying for them. You know what I mean? So in theory, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't even. In all honesty, I'm saying mine's pretty good. Seems to be working, but it could be giving me total wrong readings. I don't know. I'm just going with what it says.
Nice.
You know what I mean? But
I'll stick with it, Steve. How are you? Seems to be working well. Giving you 8.3, so you've got to be happy. So there you go.
Can't argue with that.
Hey, quickly though, talk about new on the market. These new lights that AI are bringing out, the AI blades.
Mentioned this actually early on.
Yeah. The AI blades, mate. You know, I thought, you know what? I looked at them. I thought that looks a pretty good thing in that. And then when I spoke to you, then Paul, messaged and stuff, and like we come to the conclusion that we think that these lights are probably just going to be like, you know, like I did when I had my aqua illuminations, and I added that Orphet bar
at the front,
onto the front of it, because there wasn't enough light at the front.
Yeah,
I think that these could be what these are going to be made for, because if you look at the total cost, and if you was putting them over, say, a certain size tank, you could get, like, say, a Radion XR15 or an XR30, which gives a better spread. Brighter. Brighter in a sense of more diodes on them, more LEDs,
and also a cleaner look as well. Don't you? If you've got to put that number of banks of bars, I'm not too sure they look that clean compared to say XR15.
Exactly. So
are they designed to be standalone? Are they designed to be standalone? It's designed to.
Well, you can do either.
On their own,
the way they're set up, you can put them as bars on their own.
Yeah.
Or you can put you can get a hybrid version. So there's a fitting where you put your lights in the middle and then the bars go either in the front or the back. Oh, hello.
Well, I've got mine here, haven't I? I haven't.
It's bigger than the tank.
I know.
So what are you going to put that on?
I opened it up on. Look at that. I opened it up on Christmas Day and I was like, oh my God, she's bought me the wrong one here. This is massive.
Or is it all packaging?
When you open up the box, so this is like these are reef brights that kind of the LED version of like T5s, as it were. So it's like your illumination bar rather than your coral growers. And you get your XR15 bracket.
Yeah.
So it kind of attaches to there, and then I've got two of the. So obviously the lights are a bit small. I haven't really got it all out here.
So you get one. So you put one either side. You do one front, one back.
Yeah, so one will go at the front there. I don't know if you can see that actually, really. Yeah. So one will sit just in front of the XR15. The other one will sit behind it, and basically just for coloration and coral pop. That's aesthetics more than anything. It's a bit like your old
like something else to fall into your tank, Jay.
Ross,
can you use the fan?
Do you know what? I am actually a bit nervous because they're not heavy. But there's only one bracket there, you know what I mean? And it's like adding a bit more extra weight to it.
But have they been designed to be used with the standard Ecotech?
Yeah.
So you would hope it's already been tested, so it doesn't buckle. Otherwise, it goes.
Exactly. Well, yeah.
I can feel a Cobra meeting call coming on soon.
That's just to fit it together, let alone if it starts getting wobbly. It's like the wobbly bridge.
I am so excited to get these on, but the thing is, I need to make a video about it. I don't have time to make the video to do it, so that's why they're not on at the moment. But
I was going to say, you can't get that excited to get them on because it's now the 6th and you got them.
I was away like all of Christmas and New Year. I only got back this week, and then, as you know, I worked really hard and I've been at work. So, but yeah, that's it. The XHO Reef Bright Bar, which is, I guess, similar to what you're saying. These AI blades are kind of. They are saying that they're more of an addition to what you've got.
You could do either, but I could see them being used as supplement other lights. Yeah,
I liked your off-effect bar, Steve, so that's why I kind of went with these. Yeah. And I know the LPS tank at Signature Frags has reef brights on it, and he also has Radians. And when he puts the reef brights on, the corals look even better. So that's why I went for it. Purely aesthetics.
Yeah, I mean, you know what though? It does give out like that off-it bar. 100%, it gave out more power when I put it on at the front, mate. Because I was getting like 40, 45, 60 in the corners and stuff like that. And then when I put that off-it bar on, I was getting like 120s, mate, in the corners. Do you know what I mean? There was a hell of a lot of pop from them. You know what I mean? And it just like brought out extra colour, that was needed on the tank, and there was definitely, some growth on it for sure. Because remember, the corals are getting what they need. You know what I mean? So it's worth it. And I think, like I said, I think these new one bars, that's probably what will happen. Those AI blade lights. That's what I think they'll be. They'll just be like added on as an add-on, because, like you said, you could get a kit like yours, what you've got there, Jay. A hanging bracket that can go on radions, or they can go on the AI lights. So
they've done exactly the same, haven't they?
They can put them alongside your radians and your Kessels and stuff. See, I quite like that. I quite like the LEDs with kind of your strip lights with some fluorescence, which I know it is to replace the T5s, isn't it? Basically, that's that kind of version of it. It's exciting. Have you seen that BRS TV are doing a new series? I'm excited for this one. It's on lighting. Have you seen the trailer?
I started watching there was one the other day, wasn't there, about 52 different lights, but then I saw one that was going to drop around shading. Was it shading? I'm sure there's one I've seen.
Hello? Did I go then?
I think I'm here.
I think I just dropped out. Yeah. So did you hear what I said about the new series?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It looks good. They're going to do all the tests so that we don't debate on our live streams which has got the best lights. They're going to find out which one's got the best lights, the best
It would be interesting.
The best coloration, the best value. I can't wait. This is going to settle the debate. What lights are best for the reef?
They've done quite a lot on lights in the past, haven't they? But I suppose what they haven't done is compared them like for like as much. I mean, what they're talking about is like 50 plus lights tested.
Yeah.
Against one another. So that's a massive number of lights. So
Mega series. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. And then we
tuning into that for sure.
Yeah. It's one of the things that we all debate, isn't it? What lights, Yeah,
but if you've got Radian 6s, is it going to change your mind? And are you going to, unless you're Reef Dog, you're probably not going to change it over. He's on about his 12th lot of lights, isn't he? He loves changing his lights. Yeah.
Right, I just need to catch up with the chat then. What's it say here? CDP, I've got the new probe. Oh, this is the KH Keeper PH probe, is it? It's just an all glass version, not sure.
That's what mine is, yeah. But the newer one, it looks like it's bigger. There's a newer one. It looks larger, yeah. Yeah, after that one, yeah.
Yeah.
UK Reef Bro, you need constant duty pump and a timer to replace the ATO. I'm guessing this is Carl.
This is it's a stepper motor you need, so you can then run it 24/7 if you want, and they're really accurate.
Are you running your 24/7
smaller tank with replacing the ATO?
You're right, Ross. Someone just say that again. Someone said that about putting it in smaller tank.
What he's talking about there, I think, is doing it on a smaller tank, but basically just adding the calc as your top-up water for the ATO.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Someone mentioned that. This is an absolute.
So you can supplement it, because you can have your tub that might take care of like 70-80% of your RO, and then your 20% is your variance. Because I find that depending on the weather, you don't always have the same amount of evaporation every day. So if you took up to about 70-80% of what your evaporation is, that 20% is that wiggle room, depending on if you're having a good day or a bad day on the evap.
Yeah.
So it makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does make sense. Is yours running all day then, Steve?
Yeah, it's on 24 hours a day, yeah. I have it set. Well, basically what you do is on that Versa, it basically set what you want it to run, So you set, I want it to run 1.9 litres or 2 litres, over the 24-hour period, and it calculates how much it needs to be dosed a minute. So it doses, it calculates itself. And then basically it came back with saying it needs to dose 1.3 mils a minute into my return chamber. And that's what I do. So
I bet you it's moving slow, isn't it? Is it really, just really slow?
It just like literally moves so slow, and it's just basically pumping the water up, and it's just like slowly, just you see it drip, just very, very slowly into the return chamber. And it just does that 24 hours a day, mate. Yeah, on it all the time.
Good job.
Now, CDP there, he's put EC dosing on small tanks just an ATO. The only problem with that, so it's like gravity. It's with your auto top off,
Why couldn't you do
basically
that?
the only problem with that is, which I've read, is that your evaporation fluctuates, so it goes up and down, through the weather. So you might have yours dialed in, say on your ATO, saying, "Oh God, I've got perfect numbers here," blah blah blah, in the winter, But then your evaporation in the summer might rise or it might go down. So then you're not get the kalkwasser is not being dosed in equals amounts then as it's used to. You know what I mean? So then you'll check it and it'll go your KH your alkalinity might have gone up to say 11 or 10 or whatever, Whereas you have it usually dialed in at 8.4, 8.5. And that's the only problem you have. Whereas when you have it on a permanent doser like mine, you know exactly how much you dose it in every solitary day. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. People are talking about me dropping stuff in the tank now, thanks to Ross planting that seed. I'm recording a video, so hopefully they don't drop in the tank, but we'll never know.
Oh no, this is going to be comedy gold.
That's me fat. No, bloody won't be. I'll be in tears, mate. They're not cheap, them bloody lights. 200 quid. Well, no, I think they're about 160.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot. I could have it's a little bit cheaper than buying the upgrade to the to the G6, and I thought I'll go with that because what?
Yeah. Are you going to get an upgrade?
No, I've gone with the Reef Brights. They're better than the G6, mate.
Gee, I take it you've ditched the plans of an upgraded tank.
He has no idea if he's better or not. He's just trying to convince everyone. Sorry, Ross.
BRS TV will tell me soon anyway. That'll put it all to bed.
That's right. I'm just saying, gee, have you ditched the plans of an upgraded tank yet, or is that still in the pipeline?
No. I'm just paying for holidays to Greece at the moment for my family, but after that, I'm upgrading. It's just seriously, it's a poverty thing at the moment. Cost of living. I haven't.
Poverty
Please, sir, can I have a bigger tank?
I'm gonna put the GoFundMe page up on here.
Wait a minute. Jay has just come up with the words of "it's a poverty thing" and then is visiting Signature Frags tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I'm watching Paul Spencer's.
Hold on a minute, Ross. But just like literally 30 seconds ago, just paid for a trip to Greece, did he say?
I know, I'm paying for a trip to go. I haven't paid for it, yeah.
Oh, you're paying? Oh, I thought you said you paid for it. Right, you're paying for it. I see.
So, it's not, money's not available. Like, we don't get cheap electricity up here like you do in Manchester. You remember how much it cost to run your tank a week? We worked it out, didn't we? Was it about
probably more than that now, mate.
Probably more than that. Yeah, I was saying, because cost of, have you seen, the latest Reef Dot video, he values how much it costs to run his tank.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. But his is a larger system than mine. His is what is it, 425 is?
No, he's got 425 500, isn't it? I think he's got the 500 Peninsula. 500 Peninsula, yeah.
Yeah, it's the Peninsula. So his is another 150 litres more. And like he said, he's got 30 or 35 plugs on his. I've not got 35 plugs on mine.
Electric a month is £100. You said yours was 8.
So is it no £8 a week? Yeah, it is. Sorry, no 10. Sorry, £10 a week. Mine was £10 a week. That's why I worked at mine at. I thought it was. Yeah, his is £100. Yeah.
What,
a month.
A month, yeah.
That's not
on
bad.
top, yeah.
That's not bad. That's pretty
good.
That's
remember, look at all the plugs. 36 plugs did he say he had or something? You know what I mean?
What, for 500 litre tank with all the gadgets he's got on it?
Well, I know.
30 odd plugs.
I've not got as much stuff on mine as it. No chance. You know
that's not the whole running cost. That's just the electric.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but the plugs generate towards the electric, don't they? So he's got 36 plugs, mate, plugged in, all running power. Yeah.
I took mine out because I'm bloody cost a fortune to run it.
You know what I mean, mate? So yeah,
he can now go to Greece.
That's saving up.
That's what it is.
Marginal gains, you can save up.
You can get yourself a bit of feta cheese with that.
Absolutely, I can't wait. I can't wait for my gyros or gyros or whatever it is. Can't remember what it is.
What is that? A pump?
Well, John.
No. What, a gyros? It sounds like one.
For your gyro.
It's a Greek kebab. It's Greek kebab.
He's not going on holiday. He's getting a pump, isn't he? My God. Put a gyro in that tank and the water will be all right.
Gyro. That used to be like. Go on. What are you saying, Steve?
No. So I was just looking down at the things that and John said his is a 3 foot and his is at £12 a week. Yeah. I would say at the bottom. I would say you're probably right, John. I would say mine's probably maybe like £15 a week. 15. I'm going to say £15 to £18 a week. I'm going to say that's Ryan, what I'm going to say. Mine at that. Even in Ryan,
he's on late detention now for that. That's ridiculous. That's so late. Ridiculous. What? 30 plugs? Jesus, what's this? How you get 30 plugs? Wow.
That's how much. That's how many plugs got in me.
36 plugs. That's the record.
I'm sure he said 36. I could have sworn he said 36 plugs in that thing when I watched it. Yeah, that he's got on his main display, mate, on that big tank of his. So you can imagine that's a lot of power. That, you know what I mean?
So there's absolutely no need to run 36 plugs. I don't care what anybody says. There's no need for that.
That's a fire risk.
I'm sure. I'm gonna watch it again after the stream, and I'm gonna just double check. But yeah,
surely they're all coming off one plug. He hasn't got.
It will be.
I've never seen at B&Q a 36 plug for the wall. That's dangerous, isn't it? That's overloading.
Your wiring's not rated to carry that amount of.
That's a lot of plugs.
No, it might have a double socket, eh? Might have a double socket.
But it's
so
still
two plugs.
But a double socket's still only on one cable.
Yeah, running
It
36
depends. A
plugs.
lot of stuff may not be used very often.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many
still
plugs
pretty
I've got. I'm just trying to think now, but it's less.
Well, if
than
it was
10.
too much, the RCD would trip, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but it's a lot of load on the wire and that.
I mean, any electricians in the chat that can sort this one out? I don't know. Who's
For
spending?
thinking of mine now, yeah. Behind now,
It's
I'm
got
just
42.
totaling mine up.
He's got-
Mine up. I've got 6. So in total,
You never plug your laptop in your headphones because they always go out of bloody charge. So.
That's why he doesn't plug them in.
He's thinking. He's adding up.
I'm adding them up now, going across what they are.
Going across.
I've got 18. I've got 18 plugs running my tank. 18 plugs on the bars. I've got 2 bars, Anna. Yeah. So I've got 6 and 8, and then 5 behind it. Yeah, 18 plugs I've got running mine. That's how many running mine. So Reef Dog's got double mine, mate. He's got double what he's running on. So think of it like that. You know what I mean? I don't know what he's got plugged in. Hey? No, because he said it on video.
Does he say it on the video?
He said it on his video. He said it on his video, mate. Earlier on.
I don't remember.
How many plugs he's got?
Anyway, it's bloody expensive.
18 I got. Yeah.
Right.
So, but like you said, you know what? In fair there, what's he called? CDP there. Yeah, he does say he said he didn't like the Reef Talk video. However, he says I think we're all in denial about how much our tanks cost to run, and he could probably hit the nail on the head there. In all fairness, I mean, I just go off mine because, like I said, the motors is run on electric. I just have the gas central heating. I have an electric oven, electric hob.
£3.50 a day. That looks quite interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't.
You see, you had a smart plug on yours, but he never told us how much it was costing. Is it because it's costing him too much?
Oh my!
Yeah.
I haven't looked. For next week,
Jill
I'll have a look.
Oh yeah, Paul.
I'll have a look next week. I'll have a look for next week.
In case Jill's watching, don't say.
Well, she wants a 6-foot peninsula, so I mean, how much is that going to cost?
Well,
to run, let alone buy it.
Yeah, go on Reef Talk's channel. You'll be able to price it out, mate.
Price it up.
There's a comment in the chat from Rio saying that Fire Brigade recommends 4 active plugs per socket.
Where's Rio? Is he a fireman? I thought he was the one with the yeah, he was the one with the 36 plugs, wasn't it? 4 active plugs per socket. That does actually seem right. Yeah.
4 active plugs. So
if you have a house fire, Rio, just make sure that you chuck all the plugs in the cupboard or something. Otherwise, your insurance will be void.
Yeah.
Jesus, it's a lot of plugs. I've got. Hey, look, it's a plug off. Everybody's saying how many plugs you've got. This is how good your Friday night gets. How many plugs you got? 12. Haley's got 12.
Russell Brooks at the bottom.
Get out of it. What's he got?
Yeah.
Where is it? Russell Brooks. Not sure of mine. 30 odd plugs at least. Each QT tank is about 5. Oh, so he's got a lot of different tanks by the sounds of it. Yeah, could be a winner. Should have a competition here.
Yeah, Matt's Reef at the bottom, he says as long as an extension lead doesn't exceed 13 amps, it's fine. So it must be an electrician. Are you an electrician, Matt?
Matt's an electrician, I think so, yeah. Sounds like it.
I wouldn't know that. Yeah. You know what? We just take electric for granted, don't we? That it'll just power anything, don't we? Yeah. That's what we do, don't we? Shoving plugs in. We all do it, mate. I don't care what anybody says. You get a new device and you go, you put, like Jay's got a new device there, plug it in. He won't think that he's got, like, say, 7 plugs or 8 plugs plugged into one and come back to this and go, we should only have 4. You just don't think that, do you? You just, shove them in, don't you?
See, when I first started with fish tanks, you were always told, no matter what you do, before you put your hand in the tank, switch off all the plugs. But nobody seems to do that now because, many times I stick my hand in the tanks without even thinking about switching anything off. But
with a circuit.
We've all got voltage.
Well, if the fish are alive, I think it must be safe.
That's but if the fish are swimming, won't they think you get electrocuted? Or what?
I don't know if it works that way.
If the belly up, then I wouldn't put my hand in, I'll be honest.
Yeah, because there's no
fish are floating on the top of the surface. I'm not putting my hand in that water, mate. No chance. I'll ask my missus to put hers in. Yeah, we just check this water here. Check the temperature.
Your missus is lovely. Stop being nasty.
I'm only joking. Yes, you've done a good job filming. Right, well, I love it. It was a birthday yesterday. So.
In fact, that was my favourite video. That one. I think she should be on film more of them.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I said.
Why does it look like you've got like a little mohawk there, a little green mohawk on?
Hey,
he's got an acro.
He's got an acro.
Hey, that's the GSP, that mate.
It's not like an acro.
That's an acro. That is. Yeah.
So we've got Jay with the hairnet and Steve with the mohawk now.
He's got the mohawk. He looks like a darts player today. Was it Peter Wright? He looks like Peter Wright, a darts player.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go back to the chat. Come on, what's this? Come on, Ross, give us an update vid on your tank.
Yes, absolutely.
I will do one. I will.
What, in 2023 or when?
I'll do one. It's not going to be pretty, but I'll be honest and I'll show you as it is.
That's why we love you, though.
Oh,
mate.
nice.
We love you.
Yeah, exactly.
You've always done that from
You
day one.
got to show the good and the bad, mate, aren't you? You know, in this hobby.
Always do, mate. There'll be no smoke and mirrors. It'll be as the tanks are.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's what people love to see.
I know I've seen this, but I'll be honest.
Thanks, John. New reef tank coming along. Great. That's good, isn't it, Ryan? Is that when did you get up and running, Ryan?
Yeah.
Was it last year, obviously? Russell Brooks, it's all low voltage and amp stuff. It's fine. Kettle uses lots more. Yeah, there you go. So you can put.
What the hell?
Russell's he's got a lot of electricians in the house tonight. It's good. I'm glad everybody's joined us. To 13 up. Hey, another one here. Look, fuse is.
Fuse. It's the giveaway. Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't know it was 13. Oh, right, okay. Yeah. Jace, your likes go off when I make
a cuppa.
That's probably about right. They're actually due to go off any minute, to be fair. So that's because they're on a little demo. Because my lights aren't normally this bright at this time of night, but on a Friday they are. The fish don't just get confused on a Friday.
So dare I ask, is Mobius okay?
Do you know what? Mobius is fixed. I don't know if it's coincidental. Ever since they started working with AI, it works fine. No connection issues.
I agree.
What do you reckon, Steve?
Agree. I totally agree. And you don't even have to clear the cache now. Don't you remember where you had to go into your settings and clear the cache and all that and know what you'd already gone on? You don't even have to do that. Every time I go on, it logs on straight away now.
First time.
10 out of 10. Yeah.
Really?
Seems to have fixed it.
Brilliant.
Seems to have fixed it, mate. Thankfully. Yeah.
Well done, Mobius. It only took, I had mine for a year, but people must have been struggling for a lot longer than that. I had mine for a year. I was going to throw my phone out the window. But it's, now in the last, I would say, 4 months, Steve? Never an issue.
Never. No glitches, no.
All glitches gone.
I agree with UK there, yeah. Yeah, what he says there is the heat off. You imagine the heater's working overtime, mate.
And it has been recently. You think how cold it was before Christmas with the snow.
Oh.
And I had to upgrade the heating. And I said before, didn't I? Because it just couldn't cope overnight with no heat in the house on a 150 watt heater.
Well, didn't you have to upgrade?
You let your house cool right down at night, Paul?
Yeah, the house does. And also it's next to here and there's a vent at the top that I always keep open just so it gets a bit of fresh air in. I did close it when we had the snow.
Yeah.
But so you're getting cold air straight in. And it's only about
a vent in the house, but not in the garage.
So you get hold on a minute. So you get cold air in your house, but you get no cold air in your garage. How does that work out?
I've got a vent. I've got a vent there, and we have the windows open, but in the garage nothing's open.
Cover that vent up, mate. Cover the vent up.
If we have another cold snap, go in the garage.
Right, Paul, do away with the patio doors and put a garage door in the back of your house, mate. That's what you want to do.
You know what? That's a genius.
Move all your furniture in the garage.
Jay's one. We'll have a gale blowing through.
Yeah.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Garage is airtight and the house has got gusts of wind coming through.
It does if you leave it windows open.
Tip of the day.
Stick a garage door on the back of your house.
That's got to be tip
Don't
of the
worry
day,
about patio doors or sliding doors. Have a garage door.
Can I just clarify? Is it a roller door or is it one of the proper garage doors?
It's a
bloody good one. So what?
What's a roller door?
Yeah.
There you go. Then there's the problem. I don't have a roller door. I've just got a normal.
Oh, here we go. So you have a remote and you sit in your car and it just goes up and down.
Nah, that's what it'll be doing.
Well, we can't because the car can't go in there because you've got 2 tanks in there. So that's a bit silly driving your car in.
Oh,
Jay,
right.
But yeah,
you could butler to open it for him, Jay.
His butler comes out and opens it.
What is the remote control called Butler?
Yeah.
Henry, can you make sure you put the draft excluders around the edge, please?
That's already done.
Brilliant. I love this.
And they come in with a silver service when they service it.
Oh, crack off.
That's tickled
Really,
me.
it's really tickled your fun little fancy, hasn't it? It really has.
Oh, that's funny. That I love that.
Back to the chat.
So basically, I've got a posh garage, have I now?
You've got the
Very
posh
posh.
garage on this Friday night live stream for sure.
Definitely.
No one else has got that going on, I'm sure. Oh, working the late shift, back to work. Take care, guys. Oh, back to work, mate. He joined us there for about 10 minutes. That must have been his break, yeah. Best
See you
of luck,
later, Ryan.
mate.
Cheers, mate.
Hope it goes fast, but thanks for joining us. What else we got here? Lee Armstrong. Evening, Lee. I've resent got acros, and I've put
Recently.
I've recently got an acro. Yeah, I've noticed some stripping. I know where you're coming from, mate. Will it repair or will it just carry on and strip? Happy days.
Difficult, that one. It could be like RTN, which is rapid tissue necrosis, or it could be STN. You know what I mean? Or slow. It's the slow tissue necrosis. But it depends on why it's stripping. I mean, did you dip it? Because sometimes if there's bugs on it, then they'll eat it, like acro eating, like flatworms or stuff like that, tiny microscopic things that you can't see obviously with a naked eye, but they get onto it, and but then again, is it they tend to eat from the bottom. So is it stripping from the bottom, or is it stripping where's it actually stripping from? Because if it is stripping from the bottom, my thing would be that it could be like acro eating like bugs, flatworms. Because I've seen that loads of times. Well, I've seen it. Thing he had it. Remember Scott, Paul? He had that the same thing where it all stripped from the bottom.
It totally wiped out his SPS, didn't it?
It wipes his whole SPS, all of his SPS. Yeah. So yeah, just
I think it's hard to say. It's hard to say whether whether it'll go completely or whether it will recover. I mean, if it's at the bottom, some people I've known to put some glue over it or put a bit of putty over it. Whether that's actually what I mean, I've never done that before. I think when that happens, I just cross my fingers and see what happens because I'm not too sure what you can do.
Or it depends on the size of it.
Yeah,
if it is stripping from the bottom,
you could frag it,
you could frag it. Yeah, you could snip it where there's no tissue, and then you could stick it on a frag plug and see if it does that, and then obviously dip it and then put it in your tank. But put it in if you do think it's some sort of bugs. I know that. Like a mate of mine, what he did was he put it on, like in a place where he had some of the adhesive, and he just put it in where they could just like take it out. Because what he did was he kept on taking them out and then dipping them and then putting them back in, and then every 3 days he dipped it, and every 3 days took out and dipped it, and it, in case he did have the bugs, and it did work for him. But yeah, it's a tricky one because they can just strip, and they can strip for like if you've got like higher alkalinity that they're not used to. You know what I mean? They can strip from that skin and do that.
If your light, I don't know if you kept it on the sandbed, the changing light can.
Yeah.
Because whenever I get
changing light,
I haven't bought any for a while. I usually put them on the sandbed and then move them up a little bit. Because if they're not getting enough light, they'll lose their colour and go a little bit more brown. Whereas if they've got too much light, that can shock them and they can strip. But quite often, if it's too much light, they'll strip from the top because you'll burn the tips.
Absolutely is. Haley's spot on here as well. She said, depend on so many factors.
Parameters.
A big one to change water parameter, the parameters from the tank that it came from and the ones it's going into. So that could just stress it, I guess, enough that starts to strip. But I like your idea. Save what you can if it's stripping.
If it's a bigger piece,
make a frag of it.
Bigger. But Stefan's right. It's true that what he said. A couple of ones below
about
there.
Salinity.
Saying this about salinity. It's true that like how many people like I made that mistake. You know what I mean? God, over a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, where I didn't recalibrate my Hannah checker salinity probe. Didn't do it for that. I think it was like 3 months or so, 4 months, and I just did not think, and then I started seeing some things, some, especially like I said, some of the SPS wasn't the same. Some of the corals were all shriveled up, and I was like, "What the hell's going on here?" And I tested with salinity, and the salinity was like 1.0. What was it? 1.029, 1.028 or something. It's shot up. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I must admit, every time I do the water, do the testing parameters and all the tanks, which is probably every 2-3 weeks now, I always check the salinity now. Done so for the last 3-4 months, because I think for the amount of time it takes, and if I'm doing 3 tanks and all the tests I do, doing the salinity with the Red Sea Recto, whatever it is, I use the old-fashioned one still. It's worth doing. It only takes a minute.
Oh, the refractometer.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, yeah, the refract. Yeah,
I still use those.
Yeah, I mean,
every single week because I'm doing a water change, so I check my fresh made water and I check the tank water to make sure they're both the same. So if you're doing water changes, you technically should be checking your salinity.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Totally agree.
Fair point.
Totally agree.
Yeah. I have to recalibrate mine I do it every month because I've got the anemone one. This is the it's like the love-hate one, isn't it? Basically,
is it any good? Because I've got one. I've never used it. I found it today. I forgot I had it. I must have had it about a year and never used it.
But I've got all the.
Love it.
But I've got these, and I use one of these every month for that, and I just recalibrate.
So what do? You calibrate that, and then how often should you calibrate that?
I do it every month with one of these.
So here's a question for you. See, when you calibrate it, obviously you're calibrated to 35 pp, whatever that is there.
PPT,
right?
PPT.
Yeah, so if you're calibrated to that, do you check it then at 0 with fresh RODI water as well to make sure that the zero's okay?
Well, after?
Yeah, just curious. I don't know if there's a right
No. No, I don't.
No.
Should I? I should probably do that.
I don't know.
I actually do, and it does. It'll read 0, 0, 0. It'll read 0, 0, 0 on it. Because when you dip it in the solution, obviously you don't want that. You go in it. So I don't run it under tap water. So I have RODI water, and I rinse it in the RODI water like that. And then you put it in, and it tells you the temperature, obviously, but then it tells you exactly what it reads. And 10 times out of 10, it's always 0. So it seems bang on, but. I mean, I like I said, I used to do mine every 2 to 3 months, because I wasn't using it often. You know what I mean? Because it does say on the actual thing, depending on usage. So obviously, I wasn't using it all the time. You know what I mean? So I just did it every 3 months, but now I do it every month religiously now.
I do mine every month.
I recalibrate it, every month. It's worth, and for the price of what those pouches are, what are they, £1 bloody 70?
Yeah, they're not much.
It's just worth it to just dip them, mate. Just get it calibrated. You know what I mean? Like you said, as Haley says, people take salinity for granted. I think it's always going to remain the same. You know what I mean?
That's the one that catches out even the experienced reefers, because they'll look at other things before they look at salinity or calibrating their salinity pens or refractometers. Yeah. But at least people seem to like it. Some people you come across don't like it at all. But I love that salinity pen. Just for a beginner like me, it just works.
I'm going to start using it and see what it's like.
Yeah, it's good. Can recommend it. Well, there's my lights gone off. There you go. Power cut. These are going the acro thing, SPS. Most people say that once it starts going, it's on a slippery slope. But then Lee says he's managed to recover one. So there's always.
He's got other acro thriving, so obviously, Lee. If it's got over, acropora thriving, then obviously, I'm 100% sure he would have dipped this one. You know what he's got anyway. So it could be, like I said, it could be like Haley said, it could just be the changing, from the one tank to another. It might just not have liked it. Might have shocked it slightly. Maybe you'll know it. You'll know anyway. As you know, you've got other acro, so you'll know, Lee. You just need to monitor it and just see whether it's spreading up and if it is, then I would definitely trim it where it's not receding and see if that can save it or save what you can. You know what I mean?
I calibrate my refractometer every single time. That's really good practice.
So that's what I do. The one I use. So I calibrate it, use
No,
RO to make sure
Yeah.
it's 0. So every time I use it, I do
Yeah.
RO to do it. Then I clean it off, and then I use salinity a couple of times, and then I take the reading.
CDP, don't get the hate for Hannah's. Yeah, I don't really get. I think a lot of them are really good. I know there was the magnesium one that didn't work as well at first, but you know the Anna salinity, phosphate, and alkalinity ones, unbelievably good in my opinion.
Remember that nitrate you had, the one that
nitrate irate one,
weren't it?
Yeah, that. I mean, to be fair, it is good, but it's an absolute ball ache to do it. It's like
I suppose if you do that one first, and whilst the timer's going on that, you can do some other checks. In which case, it doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah, the Ross is the man for that. He does his videos, and then they all go, and he times it so they all read at the same time. Don't know how you do it, mate.
Yeah, you can do it, no problem.
I don't. It's like that's like cooking a dinner. You know, like you get everything to finish at the right time.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
The key is on the screen, Jay. There's a timer, so you just watch the timer.
It says X number of minutes, and you put it on a piece of paper what you have to start until it's all 0.
You make it sound easy,
it's quite easy.
Yeah, you say it as I don't.
You don't do the Sunday roasting, Jay.
No, I don't. I've got a good lady, a lovely wife to do that for me. People don't check salinity when they're making fresh salt water 1.026, and that's it. They must measure it in their tank because the main tank is, or make sure that the main tank is. Yeah. I rinse mine under the tap. Never had an issue. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah, there's no issue with running it underneath the tank, mate. Absolutely. I didn't mean it in that sense. I just meant like I just have the RO container, you know, in a tub, and I just rinse it off there. That's all I do, and dry it off. Put it in the cupboard.
The only thing you'll find with rinsing stuff under the tap is that you'll get watermarks on it when it's dried if you don't dry it off properly.
Yeah.
If you use like normal water on anything glass, when it dries, if you don't clean it, if you don't dry it off properly, it will leave little water specks on it. But other than that, it's not really going to cause any issues, is it?
Yeah, that's it. I don't think it will.
This thing about reagents, was it you guys struggled to get the alkalinity one at the time, wasn't it?
At one point,
yeah, there was a shortage on them for a while.
Yeah, because Steve bought a whole box. Was it one of you bought a whole box? You got loads of them.
I had loads of them. I've forgotten that I had a few of them stored away, and then I bought more. I bought like another 4, didn't I? So, I had like 7 of them. I was like, what the hell? Yeah,
I've got 3 on the shelf left.
On the shelf.
We love the shelf.
We do love the shelf.
There in the gods. Check the fuse. The fuse is working, and you'll notice the Mobius. I got straight onto it there and just put it back on. So there you go.
Yeah, I was going to say you need to calibrate your lights because they came back on again.
What do you mean? Yeah, no, I've just got it off. Yeah, no, I just I always turn it off. Yeah, I need to do what Steve does and create a little backdrop. I used to calibrate my refractor I ever use, but once a month.
See, now my lights are on permanently. Perfect, isn't it? My lights are
that's because you only cost you £8 a week to run your tank. I had some stripping. I bet you did, Ian. Oh, your corals. I stopped because of the neighbours and the police. Very good. Yeah, good. Great stream. Thanks, John. I'm not doing another one till next year now. 2024. I've done now. I've absolutely done. I've recently set up, or I've resent up the ALC. I think that's someone talking to somebody else actually there. Very good. So,
blimey, we're out of time. Gee,
pretty much out of time, guys and girls. And I thank the Lord that that's gone, and that's done now for a year.
I think you've done splendid there, Jay.
I don't know how you do it. How do you talk, listen, and look at comments and make the comments match the? It's just absolute.
All I'm saying, Jay, is I would have loved to have been a pupil at your school because they must get away with murder.
Well, I'm not. There's no comment there.
Mr. Multitask here.
Mr. Multitask. I'm trying to find a comment now about blooming. I don't know what it is.
About
anyway, can't find it. Can't find it. So we'll just read the last comments on. Party round as Ian's, yeah. Seems to be all going off for Ian's tonight. Lots of stripping. Get yourself round there. Have a great weekend. Thank you very much, everybody. So thanks, guys, for joining us tonight. Ross, nice to see you again.
Thank you.
Yeah, one above. can you give my Mrs. Rihanna a shout out?
Can you give my Mrs. Rihanna a shout out? Setting up her first nano tank. Yes.
Wow.
Big shout
Yes,
out
well
to
done.
Rihanna. It's nice to get
Shout
people
out.
in the hobby,
Mrs.
new
Rihanna.
people,
It is.
new listeners.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You do know you have to
Definitely,
join the
mate,
Friday night live stream every Friday now. Come on now.
Every Friday.
Every Friday. Nice one, guys and girls. See you on the flip side. See you next week. So, on that note, where are we next week?
I think.
Any ideas?
I don't know. Is it
me?
Is it mine or yours?
Yours
Is it
just before
yours or
Christmas. I
mine?
think it's me and then Ross.
Right.
And then back to you.
Yeah.
I think.
Fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
next week.
Fine, mate. No problem.
we're on Fish Palace next week, 8 p.m. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody, in the chat. It's lovely to see you all. Again, Happy New Year to you all. Thanks for contributing all your ideas and
some great
chat. We've loved it. So until next week,
Fantastic.
thank you very much, and thank you very much, guys.
Well done, Jay.
Yeah, well, nice one, Jay.
Well done,
I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow, Jay.
See you tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Coral shopping.
Yes.
Right.
Take care.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Take care.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, folks.
Where's the end
Bye.
button? Left. Oh, end broadcast.
We've done this before.
End.